motion to reopen the meeting? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Moving on to resolutions. May I have the... We have a motion on personnel.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion?
There is discussion, Mr. President.
Yes, Mr. Zangari.
Can you please pull items 3 through 19 individually?
3 through 19 individually.
3 through 19 individually. 3 through 19.
Okay, Mr. Jacobus, there's a motion. Mr. Zangari would like you to pull 3 through 19 separately. I'm sorry.
I made a mistake. I apologize. Items 5 through 19. Items 5 through 19.
Okay, so Mr. Zangari would like 5 through 19 pulled separately. Mr. Jacobus, would you please pull the board on the remaining items and then pull those items individually separately?
So at this time, we're voting on 1 through 4, is that correct?
1 through 4 and 20 through 31.
20 through 31.
Mr. Kugler,
Yes.
Mr. Zangari.
Take my part.
This is, excuse me, but this is the remaining, or is this A5 through A19?
This is 1 through 4 and 20 through 31.
Got it, thank you.
Yes.
Mr. Zangari said yes. Mr. Frieda,
Yes.
Mrs. Lombardi,
Yes.
Mr. Rivera.
Yes. Motion passes. Mr. Jacobus, please poll, I guess, 5 through 18. We want to do it all together? Okay, we can block those.
Okay, so this vote is on items 5 through 19. Mr. Kugler,
Yes.
Mr. Zangari.
For reasons stated this evening tonight, what I said in private session, I take no part.
Mr. Frieda,
Yes.
Mrs. Lombardi,
Yes.
Mr. Rivera.
Yes. May I have a motion on B, oh, there's nothing for curriculum instruction, I'm sorry. C, board action, board policy. Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion?
Yes, there's discussion. I would like to make a motion to change the school calendar. We did that at the last meeting, but what I'd like to do is shorten school by 3 days. So,
Yeah, so here's as number 1.
okay. What we'd like to do is make graduation June 22nd, if possible. My understanding is the vendor has that date available. But I know Mr. Pagano will look into that.
So the proposal is to shorten the school year by 3 days by taking those days off the end of the calendar year, making June 22nd the last day for project graduation and the graduation services. Is that correct?
That's correct, and those are the 3 days we reinstated at the last board meeting.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. President, just procedurally, do we amend that calendar right now and vote on it, or does it have to be tabled and then brought back the following meeting?
So procedurally, we'll treat that as a motion to amend item 1. And if someone will second it, you'll then have a vote on the motion to amend item 1. Assuming for the sake of argument that that motion passes, you'll then vote on items 1 and 2 as amended.
We need a second on.
I second that motion to amend.
Thank you.
Any further discussion?
I also would like to make a motion. Yeah.
No more motions till we vote on this one.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, on the motion to amend, Mr. Kugler,
Yes.
Mr. Zangari,
Yes.
Mr. Frieda,
Yes.
Mrs. Lombardi,
Yes.
Mr. Rivera.
Yes.
Now, if you wanted to do some further amendment, now's the time.
I would like to make another motion to televise further board meetings because it seems like the majority of the board is,
You can't do that.
So that's not an appropriate amendment to this one. So my suggestion is that the board now vote on items 1 and 2 as amended. And then if you have a new business item, you should deal with it then. As I understand it, item 2, nepotism policy, is not part of this motion tonight.
All right, so we need a motion for that then, I guess.
No, I don't think you do.
No.
I think it was withdrawn, was it not, Mr. Reagan?
It was withdrawn on attorney review.
Okay. So, P0142-1 is effectively removed from the agenda tonight, correct?
That's
Yeah.
all right.
We are voting, I make a motion on the amended item 1 and item 2.
So we already have that motion.
Seconded.
Okay. Mr. Jacobus?
On C1 and 2, Mr. Kugler,
Yes.
Mr. Zangari,
Yes.
Mr. Frieda,
Yes.
Mrs. Lombardi,
yes.
Mr. Rivera.
Yes. Under Board Action Board Policy, I'd like to call for nominations to fill the vacated seat by Joe Longo for the remainder of the term.
So, ladies and gentlemen, here's the process so that everybody knows what's going on. There's a vacancy on the board, and by statute, it's up to the board in the first instance to fill that vacancy. Your bylaws provide for applications to fill the vacancy and then interviews. Those applications were made, 6 people applied, all 6 were interviewed. For fairness purposes, each one of those 6 people was asked exactly the same set of 5 questions. Now it's up to the board to elect an individual to fill Mr. Longo's term, which expires January 1. The next full term for that seat will be up at the November election. The process is that someone will be nominated and seconded, I imagine, and if no one else is nominated, there'll then be a vote up or down on that person. If more than one person is nominated, then Mr. Jacobus will call the roll, and each member will say the name of the person that he or she supports. And the winner will be a simple majority of those present that voted.
Do I have any nominations?
Yes, Mr. President. I would like to nominate Daniel Grasso.
I'll second that.
Are there any other nominations? Hearing none, Mr. Jacobus, please call the roll.
And I make note, this would be item C3, correct?
That's correct, sir.
So resolution C3 would be to appoint Daniel Grasso to the vacant seat. Mr. Kugler,
Yes.
Mr. Zangari,
Yes.
Mr. Frieda,
Yes.
Mrs. Lombardi,
Yes.
Mr. Rivera.
Yes. Congratulations, Mr. Grasso. Moving on, may I have a motion on D, purchasing business services?
Mr. President, do we, just as the key, there always Jacobus here down the end of the table here. But the remaining items on C, did we actually vote on them?
Yes, we did, sir. Moving on to D, purchasing and business services, may I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Is there a second? Is there any discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Jacobus, please call the roll.
On items D1 and 2, Mr. Kugler,
Yes.
Mr. Zangari,
Yes.
Mr. Frieda,
Yes.
Mr. Lombardi,
Yes.
Mrs. Lombardi,
Mr.
excuse me. Still yes, still yes. Mr. Rivera.
Yes. May I have a motion on E, finance? Is there a second?
Second.
Is there any discussion? Hearing none, Mr. Jacobus.
Mr. Kugler,
Yes.
Mr. Zangari,
Yes.
Mr. Frieda,
Yes.
Mrs. Lombardi,
Yes.
Mr. Rivera.
Yes. May I have a motion to adjourn?
Mrs. Lombardi,
Yes.
if you want to make that motion, pass the time.
Thank you. I would like to make a motion to televise our future board meetings.
I second that
There is a motion on the floor to televise the future meetings in the town Board of Education. It's been seconded. Is there any discussion?
motion. There is discussion. I've tried to do this once before, but the question was, it involves personnel, and the board can't take action on personnel that needs to be recommended. Can we get a legal?
Sure. The board sets policy. So the board can pass a resolution determining that the policy of this board is to televise the meetings, and it's then up to the administration to figure out how to do it.
Thank you, sir. Is there any further discussion? Mr. Jacobus?
Yes, we'll consider this item C4 in the board business. Mr. Kugler,
Yes.
Mr. Zangari,
Yes.
Mr. Frieda,
Yes.
Mrs. Lombardi,
Yes.
Mr. Rivera.
Yes. May I have a motion to adjourn, please?
No. I have a question.
So moved.
Oh, 1 second.
The next special meeting is Thursday, 6 p.m. This Thursday, 6 p.m., correct?
Yeah, that was.
Yes, as I understand it, Mr. Jacobus will notice a special meeting for this Thursday at 6. The notice, as is required in special meeting notices, will identify exactly what the purpose of the meeting is.
Mr. President, it is short notice. I would like that we also invite Daniel Grasso to that meeting for his swearing in.
As it is going to be a very short meeting, Mr. Zangari, I would think that gentleman deserves a little bit more credit than that, and that we do it at the next regular business meeting.
Point taken.
Okay, so the motion is this, Mr. Jacobus, please contact Mr. Grasso and explain to him that we will be swearing him in on Thursday night. Now may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second? All in favor? Aye.